Hi everyone, today I've just got in my new keyboard. It's in the sender box. It's the Logitech Orion 910 Spark. No, the Spark is the old version, this is the Spectrum. I will be unboxing it. First I will remove it from the box. As you can see, is the new Spectrum one. Pretty heavy. And this is the BlackWidow, which I will be returning, because unfortunately it didn't meet my expectation. As you can see, I pulled out the box, but it is the back of the box. We'll start with analyzing the front. As you can see, on the front it's pretty simple. It's the US version of the keyboard, but I don't really believe these stickers, despite the fact that it says the English US. I had one of the Logitech keyboard which was English UK and another one English US, and the layout was basically the same. The shift was cut here, and I think the backslash was near the shift, and this is the UK version, if I'm not mistaken. This is the RGB version of the keyboard. It has Romer G switches. The RGB has up to 16.8 million colors. It has up to G9 buttons, which you can configure yourself. And despite having a screen, it has the Arcs app, which you can use it on Android and iOS devices. And you have some kind of Arc docks. Here, I will show it in a minute. The Romer G switches are designed specially for gaming. This is the slightly revised version of the Orion Spark. It doesn't have those ugly keys, and the palm support has been edited to the complaints of the majority of the users. So I will get now to the taking out from the box, but I don't see where I did put. Now let's resume the unboxing. Oh, that's nice. This one has as well wait a minute. Yep, resuming from this part. It's kind of hard to unbox with one hand, but I will be putting here, or better I will. Unfortunately, I tear down the box a little bit, but no biggie. I'm not planning to return this keyboard because I saw it in the showroom and it's the thing that I want. Let's not make any other mistakes. So this is the basic packaging. I'm very pleased with it. So no keycaps are off, like on the BlackWidow Razer, which I had the unpleasure to see my left shift out, the plus button, the enter button, they weren't on their places. So that was a big bummer for me. As you can see, this is the data cable. It's not a braided one, but the BlackWidow's braided cable head was rather thick, and I didn't like it because it was hard to bend. As you can see, it's not gold plated or whatsoever. It's a simple USB connector, but that gold plating is basically a lot of crap, if I'm not mistaken, because I have many external HDDs. Oops. This is the paperwork here. Nothing fancy. And no discs, no other things. I'll be removing this cover up here. This is the keyboard itself. Let's put aside the box. So this is basically the keyboard. Here on the left you have the first 5 macros. Up here are the other 9 macros. Many complain that they are right above the F and they are too close and you can accidentally push the F buttons. Here are the memory slots. You can keep up to 3 different macros combinations, and you switch between macros profiles and you can switch between them. This is the macro recording key. Here is the docks. You can put the phone in here. Many complain that it doesn't have a charging dock or whatsoever, but that seems awful idea for me, because you would steal the power from the keyboard and you will need another accessory USB connector, because if you power up the keyboard and you want to charge something up, you would need extra juice. For example, I have my Note 3, which draws up to 2 amps, and that's a lot when you think that USB 3.0 is rated up to 1 amp and you want to charge your phone and also charge your supply your LED power from the same USB. It would take forever to charge it up. Here on the right we have the media keys. It's placed up, back, forward. Here are the illumination. You can basically turn on or turn off all the illumination. Here is the gaming key. When you push it, I think it disables your Windows key. Here is the volume, scroll, and here is the mute button. Many complain that this is a large keyboard. I don't think so, because this is has 50 centimeters and BlackWidow has 47, so it's a difference of 3 centimeters. Actually it's 2.5, so it's just 1 inch difference between them. What I forgot to mention, that I got this keyboard for a discount. I paid around 136. The difference between Orion Spectrum and Orion Spark is the palm support, which is pretty uniform right now. It doesn't have that asymmetry. It was starting right here. It was a large palm support for the left hand, and many complained that on the right part it was shrinking down. It was inconsistent from this part of view. Also, they modified the keys. As you can see, it's standard keys, no asymmetry, no gaming wise keys. And for those who don't like their Orion Spark form of keys, they actually made a pack which cost around $40 on their site, and you can replace those keys with these keys. So you're basically making from your Arc a Spectrum keyboard. Despite only the M keys here have a funny form. This is how they sound. As you can see, there is a springy noise coming, but this is normal for this kind of keyboard, so it's not a big deal that it has a spring noise. The tactile feedback is not present here because it doesn't have, it's just a push switch. It's linear, nothing is made for the tactile, as you can see on the box. This is the mechanical switch, so actually only pushing down the spring and it pushes it back. And if I'm not mistaken, these two are the connectors. This is which are making actually the contact on the switch, on the bottom of the switch. The feeling on this, it's like a high membrane, and the sound actually comes when you push it down below. It makes a sound, and when you release it also it makes a sound. So that is giving the sound of a mechanical switch. This is the comparison between, here you can see the G910 compared to the BlackWidow, the Razer keyboard. As you can see, the difference in length is minimal between them, so I don't know why everyone says that the G910 from Logitech is a little bit bulkier than the Razer's one. The wide, I can agree on that, because it has a non-removable palm rest, and it gives a little wide to it, but that isn't an issue because you basically don't feel it. If you have a long palm, you don't even rest with your hand on it. It actually only supports your center of the palm. The big lack that the Logitech keyboard has is the extra USB, the pass-through, which I will definitely miss it, and also the gold-plated USB, and it also has the audio and mic pass-through, which on the new BlackWidow it doesn't have. The major thing is that they are put on the right side, and that makes for some of people a big inconvenience. But I prefer use the Bluetooth headphones, and the extra USB I don't really need it because many complain that you cannot connect an external drive. By the way, I've used this Razer only for a couple weeks and it already has this smattering despite being a matte coating. The G1 is brand new and it didn't have, but I will come back with some news later about fingerprinting and how it behaves. For next I will be testing the illumination and the software compatibility, because as I mentioned earlier, the Razer one, first time it didn't work the heat map. Second time I uninstalled and reinstalled the app, it wasn't detecting at all my keyboard, and I didn't find out how to make it work. Many recommended to reinstall my Windows, and this never happened with other gaming softwares that I have on my PC. So let's get it on. So now I'll be starting the PC. It's actually behind my TV. I've just noticed that my G5 502, my Logitech Proteus Spectrum RGB, it also doesn't have the gold-plated USB. So, and it works flawless and perfectly fine. So it's no biggie that it doesn't have that gold-plated. I don't see a difference between them. And as you can see, from the start, the keyboard starts lighting, is the Christmas lightning, as they say on the box. Even the logo is changing the buttons, the colors. Unfortunately, I didn't waited for the router to start, and I have no connectivity whatsoever. But what do you see? It actually detected my keyboard without that bull crap that Razer has. You need an account to log in. You need to download some updates for your keyboard. So it actually works out of the box if you have other Logitech peripherals. And if, as you can see, it has the home, when you can see the G's You can customize. Oh, that's nice. I will switch for the desktop recording app now. So I wanted to do a quick review on my problem with the Logitech G910. I started the heat map and starting to play and test the buttons. And as you can see, I will record it now. And every button you press, they just light up, and that you know that they are recorded. So if you press W, it's red because it's the most pressed button right now. If you press S, it's also the most played. If you press the other buttons a little bit more, the others light up as red and the others as blue. The colder the color is, the less pressing you did with those buttons. And if I press W and A, as you can see, they change the color. And with this keyboard I have the problem because I have 3 faulty keys. Is the F8, which doesn't light up at all, F9, which doesn't light up at all, and F10. So they basically don't work. The others near them, they light up, so they work. Also, it's I think it's a hardware problem, it's not a software problem. The other rows work as well. So as you can see, I will light up every button on my keyboard. So the others work. No biggie. Those are the faulty ones. Even the G's light up. The arrows. Yes. Everything works fine except these 3 buttons. And they don't do anything. I have a game which shows the buttons you press. It's called Step Mania, if you wanna try. As you can see, it's loading, and you can enter the game. You can enter an options and get to input options and test input, and here you can see which case do you press. And as you can see, pressing the F buttons, nothing shows up. See, are you pressing the F11 and then here F10, so they don't press, they are faulty. For me personally, it wouldn't be a problem because I don't usually use them, but some BIOSes use the F8, F9 or F8 or F10, so that would be a problem. This keyboard also doesn't have the onboard memory, so you cannot remap, for example, some G's to remap as the F keys, because after you reset the PC, the profiles is gone. It works only when you're booted and loaded into desktop and you have the gaming software running. I will be returning my keyboard, and I will get another one instead of this. Also, I want to show you this is the pad, the hand support and what is beneath it. So as you can see, it's the standard of an Logitech G910 Orion Spark. is the Spark version. So it's actually the same Spark keyboard with a different hand support and different keys. So Logitech basically didn't do anything new with this keyboard. It's just a revision, I would call, to the old one. Thank you everyone for watching. Like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it. Have a nice day.